officially go live. And there we go. Okay, so let me introduce you, Mindy Sarton. She is a new client of mine just during the Landmore Clients Intensive, and she did something really cool. She made $5,500 in pretty much 3 days and one meeting. Like, it was so quick, it was so cool, and I just loved how she got results so quickly that I wanted to bring her on here and just talk about what was going on in her business beforehand, what shifted, and how in the world did she make $5,500 from, seriously, like, we got started on Friday, Monday she landed a client. So over the weekend even, she made this happen. So let me just give a little short intro to Mindy. Mindy is the Boss Up Coach. She helps realtors implement the right systems and get the right help so they can reclaim their time, control their income, and love what they do again. Mindy, how you doing?
Hey Craig, what's up? Thank you so much for having me here today. I really appreciate it. Yeah, like I'm so stoked to be here. I'm so stoked about the program. I actually started hacking Craig about a month ago and kind of watching what you were doing, how you were, talking to people online, kind of what your system was, and I knew, kind of had an idea of what you were about. And I had been in another coaching program. I love my previous coach. She's amazing, and she got me to a point where it was time for me to really level up. And I had been having some success in my business. I mean, I'm doing really well. I've had $10,000, $20,000 months like it. But I had something happen where I got a client. It didn't work out with that client. It really jacked with my confidence and my clarity on what it was that I was offering. See, I'm pretty good at sales, at something I have a background in. And what was happening was I was selling kind of a different service each time I met with someone, right? Like, ultimately they were getting the same result, they were getting the same goal, they had the same thing they wanted to happen, but I could kind of navigate that conversation so that, they ended up working with me and getting these amazing results for these people. So then when this happened, it kind of shut me down, right? And so I was looking for a way to get really, really laser focused on what it is that I offer and what that ultimate result is, right? And so, Craig, when you say it was 3 days, like, I just want people to know, like, legit, we had a phone call on Friday. We didn't start until Monday, right? And I was like, okay, what do I need to do here? How do I get, like, I want to be a success story. Like, I did not sign up to do this to not kill it, right? And I would just say, if you're out there and you're like, you're doing pretty well, you're making some money, maybe you have, you're not quite hitting the goals that you want and you want some direction and some laser focus, like, just hop on a call with Craig. What I really liked about you, Craig, is that it was like legit no pressure. And I know you talk about that like on your posts, and I'm like, no pressure, whatever. Like, and I get on the phone and it's literally like, hey, let's just see if this is even a fit, if this is even something you want to do. And I've been in sales forever, so I can see a used car salesman coming from a mile away, right? And Craig is not that. Like, if you're looking for authenticity and someone who's really going to have your back and like help you get over that hump and get that laser focused clarity and get those results, he is your guy. So like I said, what do I do? He's like, just start talking to people. And he gave me some key strategies just in that call. That wasn't even like, I wasn't even in the program yet. That was just our like, hop on the phone, find out if it's a good fit. So like, I got major value out of that phone call, just chatting to see if we should even work together, right? And then fast forward to Monday, I knew I was meeting with you for our one-on-one focus call, right? And like our foundation call. And we were going to really laser in on what it was that I offer and what that is. Because sometimes like you need, and I always tell my clients this, like, yes, you know what to do, you know how to do it, but we need someone outside of ourselves who can see what needs to happen and the small tweaks. It's those tiny, tiny little tweaks, right? So I got on the phone with Craig and I just started just going, right? He asked me the right questions that helped me to really clarify what it is that I offer. And what it did for me, so two things happened. One is I knew I was having that call, so I went ahead and scheduled a lunch with an ideal client immediately after that call because I have no room for fear to creep in. I have to go and have the conversation right now. And the other thing is she's a friend. I totally was like not even there to necessarily, pitch anything. It was just like, hey, let's jam. So anyway, so he gives me this, we go on this call, and I walked away from that call knowing exactly what I do, exactly what I offer, exactly who I help. And I'd been doing it, right? I'd been doing it. But that clarity, and also he helped me tweak how I priced it. And it's the same pricing I was using before, but the words I was using to explain my pricing set myself and my client up for failure. It set them up for this like feeling that it was a weekly cost instead of like a whole program. So like he's amazing at like, here's what you do, here's what you rock at, here's who you help, here's your result, and here's how you price it, right? So we have this scaling pricing strategy. Literally, I walked away with a document. I know you asked me like one question, but welcome to me. So I walk away with a document, and he's filling it out while we're on the call. Like I'm just spewing all this stuff that I do that's in my head. And this is why I think having a coach is so important, because I can spin this around in my head all day, but having someone who can take it and write it out, like this is what you do, this is your key value that you offer, this is your result. And that result is like, I help realtors implement the right systems, get the right help so they can reclaim their time, they can control their income again, and actually love what they do like they did when they started. And when he gave me that, and then here's your key things that you offer in that program, and here's how your program's laid out. First of all, my program's now going to take me half as much time to implement, and I'm charging the same price. So this is the first time we get off the phone call, I'm all jazzed up, I'm just going to go try it, and it was messy, y'all. Like I literally took my piece of paper that we did on the call, I printed it out, I brought it with me to lunch, we hung out and talked, and at the end I said, can I just read you this thing? Like I just met with a new coach, and can I just practice on you? And I was authentic because I had seen the way Craig did it with me, right? So the way I modeled how our initial phone call had been, it didn't have to be weird, and it wasn't manipulative. It literally was like, I need to practice. You're my ideal client. I need your feedback on this. And so I sat down with her. I read it to her. She's like, I would tweak this and this and this. I said, okay, we tweak it. And then I'm like, all right, cool. So how's that sound? And she paid in full. And it's the first time that they've paid in. Well, I've had one other client pay in full. It was my best friend, right? So that's the only other person I've had just pay in full, no questions. And she is jazzed to get started. She is totally my ideal client. I'm not just trying to find someone for the money, right? Like I'm really looking for that right fit who I can help. And Craig, you gave me that confidence and that clarity so that I could close the deal. And we have some friendly competition in the group too, which if you're anything like me, I like to win. So that's my goal wherever I am with whatever I do. So yeah, and that answered your question and 87 more. So anyway, there you go.
There's so much in there. There's so much in there that I want to, and I could just sit here all day and listen to you compliment me. I mean, I'm enjoying that. But let's dissect some of the stuff that you were talking about. Okay, so
Yeah.
Going all the way back to the beginning, you're talking about how before you joined and before we got that clarity, you were selling, getting the same result, but selling a bunch of different packages to get there.
Yeah.
Why was that a problem, or why was that, gumming up the works for you?
Right. So part of the problem with that, when I had this client get started with me, like, because I was kind of giving like, this is what it is, and it changed every time, right? It was like, I'm doing this many coaching calls, I'm doing this, like, here changing. And so it made it more work, first of all, to make the connection, to find the right person, to know who I was talking to. And then it also made more work, like, if you know it's going to be harder to implement something and you're going to have to figure it out every single time, you don't have as much confidence to go in and just like close the deal and get it done. Like now I'm like, this is what I do. And Craig, you also gave me some ways to tweak it too, so that getting started, if I needed to tweak it a little bit, we could still do that. There's a strategy so that I can still make the money I need to kind of hit the ground running, right? So that cleared things up for me. And I was struggling with that clarity before. And that made it harder for me to close the deal, because I'm like, can I really deliver this result? Like, duh, I am. But what does that look like? What's the vehicle? And now the vehicle makes so much sense. I know exactly how many people I need, how many I can maintain at a time, and we have a plan to get me there.
Love that. Yeah, I love, you're talking about both clarity on what you're selling and who you're going after, but also clarity on how you can make the money you want to make, which I think is something, at least I'll speak from my own experience. For me, for a very long time as an entrepreneur, it was like, fingers crossed I make 100 grand, like hopefully it happens this year. But like when you look at the plan, like who even knows if it was even financially feasible, right? So like knowing
Mhm.
how you're going to reach your goals, really important. And I don't know if this is bothering anybody else. I feel like my shirt is like a magic eye thing, and I catch a glimpse of it, and it keeps bothering me. So I'm just going to call it out. Uh, I won't be wearing this shirt on live video again anymore. Um, okay, so a couple of things that I noticed about what you said. So first of all, I do remember on our get to know or our kind of like sales call, or is it a good fit call? You're like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And then typically it's like, okay, let's set up our call and we'll get started on Monday. And, you're just like, no, give me stuff to do now. Like, what am I doing this weekend? And I was like, well, you haven't paid a bill yet, Mindy. Like, let's get you in the program first. You're like, no, you need to give me something to do right now. And so, first of all, I love that. I love you pushing me to give you that. And, we came up with just hey, here's what you do over the weekend. And it was literally a step by step, go do these things. And you immediately did it. And what I love about what you said there was, one is that you set up meetings even though you didn't have that clarity yet. It's like you knew you were going to have that clarity. You knew you were going to have a package. So we went ahead and set everything up. So it's like we didn't wait to take action. We took action right away. And then as soon as you're smart enough to at least wait until after our meeting to have the sales call. But you were able to immediately implement. So I love that very, very much. So I'm saying those things out loud just to kind of break this down for everyone else who's thinking, hey, I want to make $5,500. It's Friday right now, right? So I want to make $5,500 by Monday. Okay. So, do what Mindy did. Take action, start reaching out to people, start talking to people, get clarity on what your goal is and what your package is, and then go and sell it, right? And if you really want to be like Mindy, it's Friday. I got some time. Let's get on a sales call. let's let's get you in the program.
Totally.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
really, just specifically, what are because we've said $5,500, we've kind of said that, but specifically, what's the results that you've gotten so far?
So specifically, I spent about 45 minutes doing your SMEDO technique that you taught me briefly over the phone before I had even enrolled in the course. I spent 45 minutes doing that, booked one appointment. I have another one booked for next Tuesday from that 45 minutes. And then I sat down and had that conversation and made one sale. So I have clarity on my program. I know exactly what I'm charging for it. And I've also set up, I have other people that I'm kind of are in the works right now that might be a good fit for me. So one sale and they paid in full. So 5,500. So I'm 8% of the way to my goal for the next 90 days.
Really cool. So you've got, what I'm hearing from you is you've also got, yeah, we got some quick results, but you've also got like a clear pathway to like, this is what I need to do moving forward. This is how I get what I want.
And the accountability that I need to stay there, right? So I got to the point where I needed someone to kind of hold me to the fire. I know what to do. I know how to do it. I've been doing sales and marketing for 20 years. I need someone to come alongside me to keep me focused on the right things, on the right activity, the right things to focus on to get the right results.
Awesome. Okay, so if there's someone out there just considering maybe I want to join the Land More Clients Intensive, maybe I want to work with Craig, what would you say to them?
To get on the phone, like it might not be a good fit. I know Craig's looking for particular people that he works with. You have to have, certain income levels. You have to have certain, success that you already have in business right now. And I think there's only like one spot left. So I would say, and not that fake scarcity crap, there's only one spot left. Like legit, he told us in the group, there's like one spot left. So if you're even thinking it might be a fit for you, get on the call with him. Like, even if it's not a fit for you, you could still implement what I implemented and get the same results. Like that was, so you're not going to lose anything just getting on the call. He's totally cool to talk to, and you can find out if it even is a good fit for you or not. And it really is no pressure at all. Like, so I would say reach out to him, get on the phone. It's a quick, easy conversation. And one other thing that kind of came up for me too is like part of the problem I was having before we started working together is I started to believe again that business had changed. Like same thing I teach my clients. Nothing has changed. It's the same thing it's always been. Have a good product, know what you offer, know your results, have one thing that you offer to people, stay focused on that one thing. You know, I want to make 65,000. Great. I just need to have 10 people that get started with me that are my right ideal client that I can get results for. And I had started doing some other stuff, you know, and so remembering that business has not changed. It's exactly the same. And Craig will help you if it's the right fit, stay on that path to get those results, whatever they are.
Awesome, Mindy. And I'm gonna put a little plug in for you, Mindy, because honestly, in the short time that we've worked together, I can see how good you are at what you do, especially with sales and helping people focus in on making, the right choices for their life. And I got to tell you, I came home from the store today. This is seriously what I did. Me and my wife went to the store. I came home just before this call, and I looked at my wife and I said, "Why don't we have a personal assistant doing this for us?" And I was like, this is Mindy rubbing off on me in like 2 days, right? Like I identified a moment in my life where I'm like, this is wasted time. I could have been doing something else. So,
Yes.
if there are some real estate agents or maybe even like some high performer business people that are like watching this and they're like, I like Craig's cool, but I like Mindy. Where are they going to find you? Where do they go?
I would say you could go ahead and you can either find me on my Facebook page, which is Mindy Sarton, the Boss Up Coach. But if you just want to connect with me on Facebook, it's Mindy Sarton, or it's facebook.com. Let me just double check. I think it's facebook.com/Mindy Sarton.
Well, and we can tag you
Yeah,
in
and we'll
there.
tag me, but just connect with me on Facebook because that way we can, just have a chat and like Craig said, see if it's even a good fit because I want to make sure that it's not a waste of your time, not a waste of my time. I want to make sure it's cool. So yeah, just find me on Facebook and we'll connect. Craig can tag me.
Awesome. Okay. Thanks, Mindy. We'll
Thank
see you
you.
guys later.
Bye.